So about 5 weeks ago, if you guys remember, Victor Boniface was unfortunately involved in a car accident where he sustained some minor injuries. I think he had to miss one game for Leverkusen, but thankfully, to the glory of God, it was nothing serious, and he was able to get back on the football field. Now, unfortunately, over the past week, Victor Boniface has been in the news again for this driving thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but last time when the whole thing happened, Smith, like I was saying is that it's an interesting time that we live in. That
Mm-hmm.
a football player gets into an accident,
Mm-hmm.
and it is the football player himself that is posting the accident to social media, posting himself injured, posting the car damaged. I was saying it's a very interesting time. you know,
Mm-hmm.
Before the player would try to hide it,
Uh-huh.
maybe one Sun journalist would just find a way to just get the picture or go and leak it on newspaper. But it was a thing that the player would try to hide.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying that, okay, well, the fact that he posted it himself made me just assume and conclude that it was probably not his fault in any way. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it's his fault, why would he post it? Like
Yep.
brain,
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably not his fault, the fact that he was posting about it. And then now, only about a month removed from that incident, he was captured on video speeding, going 20 kilometers per hour over the speed limit on a highway,
Mm-hmm.
while also texting and scrolling on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not the first time that Boniface would do that. I follow him on social media. I've seen him several times using his phone while in his car, whether jamming with his friends, whatever the case may be. We all know this in every country in the world that I'm aware of, Sha.
Mm-hmm.
It is illegal to text and drive.
Yeah, yeah. Even the
It
UK,
is,
yeah.
it is not something that you should do
Yeah.
because it is a very, very dangerous practice. It's a very unsafe practice. Now, don't get me wrong. Even I drive. There,
Mm-hmm.
we've all done it before. Maybe we're driving and we'll just quickly just look at our phone, or maybe we're at a red light and we'll
Mm-hmm.
just quickly check something. But at least we have the wherewithal to know that what we are doing is still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And if police is there, we will not do it. We should
Mm-hmm.
not allow them catch us. Now, for the fact that he's a professional football player, I know he was chilling with, I believe, somebody that is an artist,
Mm-hmm.
and they were having a good time. It was the person that was recording him going 20 kilometers per hour over the speed limit while scrolling and texting on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very bad look. I've said this thing before. I said it when we spoke about Bruno some months ago, about how artists and footballers, while they are both celebrities, footballers need to realize that things that the artists can get away with, they
Mm-hmm.
cannot. Because
Yep.
that artist that posted it on because it was on the artist's Instagram page,
Mm-hmm.
probably did not think too much about it. Harmless thing, they're just vibing, enjoying themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Posted a video of him and his guy.
Mm-hmm.
But that person in that video is a professional football player who is
Mm-hmm.
held to different standards,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes story in Germany, it becomes story around the world. I've always told Nigerian players, you need to be careful, man, when it comes to your brand, when it comes to perception of things, and Boniface even liked the video when the guy posted it. Boniface even liked it. So it was always that Boniface too did not even think too much about it
Mm-hmm.
until the backlash started coming. Then the guy
Mm-hmm.
had to delete the video. Xabi Alonso had to talk about it. Bayer Leverkusen as a club is having to make a statement
Mm-hmm.
saying that they will investigate, they will talk to their player, let
Mm-hmm.
him know that he shouldn't do something like that. I just think that players need to be more professional, players need to be more responsible. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a professional football player, but even I would never post myself texting and driving
Mm-hmm.
because it is simply just not something that is good to
Mm-hmm.
publicize.
Mm-hmm.
What benefit can anybody gain from seeing you texting and driving? And then when you are now a role model, when you are now a football player, when you are somebody that others, young people look up to, you are held to even higher standards than the average person.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably going to get some kind of fine. I think he's probably going to get a very, good talking to by his club. But he needs to protect his image better. He needs to be safer. He needs to be safer, period. I've never been in an accident in my life, but if I enter accident, that kind of accident, I don't know if I'll be able to be texting and driving 1 month later. So he needs to just be more careful,
Mm-hmm.
safer, care more about your public perception, care more about your public brand. People that are around you need to be more careful and need to protect you more, because there's the kind of people that are around you. Like, let's say now you are a celebrity, you can be doing all the bad things in the world. They
Mm-hmm.
know that nobody see Smith,
Mm-hmm.
like, we have to protect him because
Mm-hmm.
he's our main person where they bring in the money, everything. And there are some people that will just come 2 seconds, they don't open camera, just they
Mm-hmm.
record everything. So you have to know that people that are around you need to be more careful.
Mm-hmm.
If all the Ronaldos, Messis, all these stars, if they lived their lives carelessly like this, do you think that Ronaldo will not have had more controversy, or Messi will not have had more controversy or more bad stories or anything by now?
Mm-hmm.
You might think you're not a big star like them yet, too, but again, if you don't start to act like that now, you will not get to that level. I always
Mm-hmm.
tell people, a lot of the time, you don't know what you are losing because you never had it.
Yeah. Hmm.
So you need to be more careful. I don't want to feel like as if I'm ranting too much about Boniface. Boniface is my guy. I like him as a footballer. I like him as a person. But Nigerian footballers in general need to be more careful when it comes to professionalism, responsibility, and protecting themselves as individuals and as brands. Like, over to you.
You said it all, but there's one thing I just want to correct there. You said that sometimes, if you can text when you are driving, but I'm not sure you can text when you're driving at 140. You cannot text. You get mind for you to be able to be texting and be driving at that type of speed. And apart from Boniface, you should think about Nigeria. We still need him. You should think about his career. You should also think about people on the road too. If you think about yourself, think about people on the road too. For me, I just think that it needs to be very careful because it's Germany laws are very strict, and they can remove points away from his driving. He might not be able to drive, he might be taking Uber, but it's just something that he actually needs to actually control. And I don't know, the world is like a small village now. Something that somebody in Nigeria posted. Alonso saw it. How did Alonso? How did they send it to Alonso? How did the German newspaper got it? How did the Bundesliga have to get it too? It's just crazy. That means that anything you are doing, you must be what very careful. And I know of a football player, so the Nigerian player, when you are coming to his house, he doesn't allow you to use phone.
Hmm.
It doesn't allow you to use phone because anything can get leaked. Any small thing, any argument can come out.
Any small
Any small thing.
conversation,
You can take his picture in his boxers. Anything.
literally.
Yes, you can take his picture in his boxers before you know it. It's already what everywhere. So you have to be careful. You have to screen people around you all the time. But if you are talking about with all these things, if he comes to England, they will roast him.
Hmm.
He needs to be very, very careful, and I wish him the very best of all. I don't want to say too much about him. I know that he has learned his lessons. I saw him post for the first time because when that thing happened, he didn't do his memory all again. So, but I think I think he's probably actually back in training, and also with some Nigerian celebrities too, like Davido, and not quite long. So for me, I just wish him that he can learn from all this, and I think he should focus on football than all these things because the people I see around him, they will not. I don't think see he focus. They see a long way for him to go. They see a long way for him to go. I just hope that he learn from all these things.
Yeah, I really do hope that he learns, for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
And it's funny because this is similar to what I was saying when I remember when Osimhen was tweeting anyhow back then, and I was saying is that, guys, you
I
have
think
to
I stopped that.
realize what is it?
I stopped that.
Yeah, stop. But I remember back then I was saying that you need to realize that your audience now is not only Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
You might think, oh, you're just bantering with your Nigerian fans, but one German person will see it now and will go and
Mm-hmm.
misinterpret the whole situation. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
people need to be more careful. Like I get that certain things is cruise, banter, whatever, just vibe, yeah, having fun. But you just need to be more careful. Even the most harmless things, you never know how it's going to be taken. Look at how a very harmless example today. Now, banter, I know what banter is. Now today, Boniface posted on his story, "Congratulations, bro,
Mm-hmm.
Osimhen." I don't know if you guys saw it with a picture of a jet.
Okay.
When I saw it on his story, I was like, "Huh? Did Victor buy a jet?" I quickly did mathematics in my head. I said, "Victor doesn't have money to be buying a jet."
Mm-hmm.
Then I looked at the picture. I looked at the picture. I said, "No, this just looks like a picture that somebody just went online
Mm-hmm.
and just got from the internet."
Mm-hmm.
Then I go on Twitter. People on Twitter say Osimhen don't buy jet too.
Uh-uh.
You see, like people on Twitter have posted Osimhen acquires private jet. Boniface congratulates Osimhen on private. Like people have just said Osimhen has bought a private jet.
Hmm.
Osimhen eventually replied on his story, like, "Oh, your own self they come, or this one's out." So obviously it is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're a public figure like that, before you know it, somebody has carried the news.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one is harmless, whether or not Osimhen bought a private jet, what it doesn't hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But on a different day, a different story, it can be something else.
Mm-hmm.
No, literally, because I'm looking on Twitter now again, people are saying the fact that Boniface posted it means that it must be true.
Hmm.
I was seeing about the private jet. So people just need to be very careful with the way they put things out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some things are harmless like this one, but some
Mm-hmm.
other things can cause harm whether you expect it or not. But yeah, shout out to Victor Boniface, man. Hopefully you're back on the pitch um real soon. But please just try not to speed.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to speed, try not to use your phone while you're speeding.
Yes, for
If
you.
you have to speed and you have to use your phone while you're speeding,
Mm-hmm.
then try not to record video.
Yes.